Because headphones, they're just so 1990. Well... Hello guys, how are you? David Franco here from davidthefranco.com. Let's talk about the iPhone, because this is a very interesting topic in terms of Apple removing the headphone jack. This has been a long going rumor. But anyway, hold on, let's back up a bit. Today's video is powered by davidfranco.com/ask. That is your open forum to submit questions relating to any kind of topic that could make for a good video topic, such as this one. I'm just trying to bring back these interesting topics that hopefully you guys enjoy. Basically, in other words, if you're tired of my unboxings and reviews, this content is for you. And plus, come on, it is always good to mix things up, right? Anyway, today's question over at davidfranco.com/ask comes from Prina Vinakunar. Dude, I am so sorry. Seriously, I am. That's a tough name to read. I'm just bad at reading names. Okay, so anyway, he says, which one would you prefer on the next iPhone as a standard audio output? Wireless or lightning cable? Okay, this is a great question because, as I said in the beginning of the video, there's been this long-going rumor saying that Apple's basically going to kill the 3.5mm headphone standard. And honestly, if they do, that is an extremely bold move, because the average person, as far as I'm aware, still uses standard headphones. Not Bluetooth, nothing fancy, just regular, good old-fashioned headphones. I mean, even Apple's own earbuds, or earpods rather, use a 3.5mm standard. However, Apple could change that. Their own earpods could use this, the lightning connector, which I don't think is a bad idea, because people have to realize this. Things have to change eventually. I mean, I realize we all get comfortable with using our standards over time, but honestly, being comfortable isn't necessarily a good thing. Okay, so rewinding back to the days of the iMac G3. Now, keep in mind, I was not an Apple fan. I didn't even know who Apple was back then. But I'm pretty sure the iMac G3 was one of the very first Macs that did not include a floppy drive. And as far as I'm concerned, the world freaked out. Apple's making a huge mistake. What the hell are they thinking? People love floppy drives. No, Apple was completely correct. They are a very forward-thinking company. If Apple thinks a certain kind of technology doesn't matter, then they're gonna axe it. And the same exact thing is happening right now to optical drives. It is so difficult to find a brand new capable Mac that actually has an optical drive built in. I say capable because I realize you can still buy the non-Retina MacBook Pro with an optical drive, and I'm sure that's there for that very niche market, or niche, depending on how you speak. But that's just my point. Optical drives, they're so yesterday. They don't matter. I hate the idea of using physical media on my Mac Pro. Now granted, now and then I do have to do it. It's not a huge deal, but I hate dealing with optical media. Except for my game consoles. I love having a physical collection of my video games. I just think that's cool, and it's something to physically look at. But in terms of music CDs and DVD-ROMs and all that stuff, I just don't care. Like, I hate the idea of using physical media in my workflow. It just doesn't mix well with me. So I'm a prime example of why optical media, in my opinion, does not matter. I mean, come on. Honestly, answer this in the comments, and I'm sure there's gonna be a few of you. When is the last time you put a disk in your Mac or PC? Because guys, let's face it, Photoshop is all based in the cloud nowadays. You can install all of the Adobe CC apps, boom, just like that. Microsoft Office, boom, it's entirely online. All of Apple's software, boom, entirely online. Microsoft software, and the list goes on and on. That's exactly why the App Store exists on the Mac. So anyway, I could ramble about that all day, but I'm just gonna say this. People need to eventually let things go. Now, I realize this is quite a significant decision if Apple does decide to move forward with killing the headphones jack, but it doesn't affect someone like me because, one, if they do so, chances are pretty damn good they're going to include a lightning to 3.5mm adapter, which I think is not a bad thing because the only time I use my headphones jack is in my car. And I will say I use it quite often, but honestly, if it does come down to that, I'll just keep the adapter in my car, plug it in, boom, I'm listening to Apple Music. And in theory, that should work just fine. But when I do use headphones outside of my car, I use my Bluetooth headphones. And honestly, they work just fine. I love the idea of not having a cable coming down my head and into my pocket. How many times have you been trying to cut the grass or do something else and you accidentally yank the cable? It's just very, very frustrating. So if Apple does move forward with killing the headphone jack, I give them props. Personally, I think it's again, a very bold move, but a smart move, because let's face it, somebody needs to make it happen. And another example, when the iPad came out, and the iPhone at that, it didn't support Flash, and it still does not support Flash. Everybody thought Apple was making a huge mistake. Everybody uses Flash. Oh my God, Apple, you're doomed. Well, Apple was right. Adobe eventually officially killed mobile support for Flash because of Apple. So come on, you guys gotta look at the big picture here. It may be frustrating right now, but fast forwarding 5 years from now, it will make perfect sense. I can promise you that. And finally, I think a lot of people are gonna say, well, David, the Headphone Shack, it doesn't even take up that much space. Yes, it does. I mean, what you see right here is a tiny hole, but the headphones connector actually goes about this deep into the phone. And that much space, it might not seem like a lot, but when talking about phones this small and this compact, that's a big deal. It is a big, big deal. That means more room for components, including a larger battery. So don't let this small size of the hole fool you. It actually takes up quite a bit of space in this compact phone. So those are my thoughts on Apple killing the headphones jack. Incredibly bold, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen eventually. But then again, there were rumors years ago about Apple killing the physical home button, and that has yet to happen. So don't get too excited, don't get too frustrated, because rumors are just rumors until proven otherwise. So there you go. Anyway, thank you so much for answering your question. I don't mean that in an offensive way. I just don't want to mess up your name even more. But still, excellent question. And I've actually been meaning to talk about this for a while now, so I'm very glad you asked. In these Q&A videos, I like to promote lynda.com because you can get free 10 days of unlimited access to thousands of high quality video courses by going to lynda.com/David. That's lynda.com/David. They have video courses for pretty much anything imaginable, including design, photography, audio and music, business, and so much more. But to make your search easier, I do have one course recommendation for today. That's called GarageBand Tutorials, Essential Training with Garrick Chow. Now, this is a great course that can basically teach you the fundamentals and essentials of GarageBand on the Mac, as well as iOS. I mean, there's nothing wrong with making music on your mobile device. That's kind of the future after all. Okay, so anyway, this course teaches you all the things you need to know, including creating a new project, adding new tracks, and working with loops. Yes, I'm referencing my notes so I don't miss anything. And finally, this course includes nearly 5 hours worth of content. So definitely check it out. And I picked that course today for one main reason. We were talking about the headphones jack. So headphones, music, making music, it all makes sense. So guys, there you go. Again, lynda.com/David. That's lynda.com/David. That link is right below. Check it out and you get 10 days of free access to unlimited video courses. I just think it's incredible. I love learning something new, and hopefully you do as well. So huge thanks to Lynda for making this possible. And well, I suppose that's it, but only for this video. Let's keep these questions coming in because I honestly love making videos like this. So go to davidfranco.com/ask right below. Everything's right below. Have you noticed that? No, but seriously, check it out, post your question, and perhaps I'll feature your question in my next Q&A video. And by the way, this is your chance at getting some free exposure for your YouTube channel, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. This is your chance to not only ask a question, but to put yourself out there as well. Hey, it's a win-win scenario. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to read your questions very soon, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.